This is Dr. Vaishali, and I'm reading from The Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. Chapter number 25, Illustrative Cases. Case number 13. A married woman of 22 who had asthma since childhood and aggravated by cold weather, though in general ameliorated by cold weather and fanning, means patient is hot. She also had an offensive, profuse, dark menses with the clothes. Her husband says she is very easily get up into the rage. It comes up very suddenly. She feels like running away or taking poison and has to be restrained. She had many fears of being alone, of a dark, of a ghost, and she liked traveling. When asked about dream, she said that she had a dream of being chased by a snake. Without any further prompting, she said that she also dreamed of having sex with her brother in law. This was a most unusual thing because the patient had come with her husband and there were about 20 students in the OPD. The patient was from a conservative middle class family but did not hesitate in the least before mentioning this dream. And for analysis of these cases, the most important feature of this case in the amorous dream and the way it was related by the patient. Her behavior is in a total defiance of social norm and showing her indifference and desperate feeling. The latter being seen also in the rage and suicidal impulses. The expression is strongly syphilitic. The anger with the desire to run away from the house, the obstinacy and defiance. Means that I don't care what happened to my relationship with the people, especially my husband, which point towards the tubercular miasm. The shamelessness, immodesty, and the actual indifference could probably have been the end result of long continuous operation. This is quite common with the woman in such a family and would explain the violent expression as well as the indifference. As I have already arrived at the remedy, I did not drop deeper into this family history. This is a peculiar case with the intense feeling of expression. It falls between the tubercular and syphilitic miasm. It is a case of the leprous miasm. The rubric selected were rage with the suicidal disposition. Rage has to be chained. Rage in woman. Indifference to exposure of her person. Forsaken her elation. Mocking his relative. The remedy selected on the above reason was the sickle core. It is the remedy in the highest grade in the rubric skin eruption leprosy with a sickle core. She improved remarkably in her mental state and asthma and the menstrual problem. Now, case number 14, a boy age of 15 accompanied by his father. The father explained that in infancy and early childhood, the child was well above average. And when he started schooling, lately he became retarded in development, mentally and physically. He is short in height. He has failed that last 2 years in the school and he is mentally dull and indifferent. He is not interested in anything current affairs, sports, games, etc. He doesn't want to learn anything. He picks things up fast but loses interest very quickly. He can't sit erect. He slouch and he has fixed ideas. He is crazy about automobile, cars, trucks. He draws and paints them. He is very obstinate and if an idea gets into him, he stick to his point. The boy is sitting with a blank expression. His mouth is half open beside his father. He has been a different class, but he does interest will not pursue anything. He has been in different classes of this extra activity, but never took any interest. He is a clumsy and drop things easily. He has an intense fear of examination. Before them, he is very confident, as if he knows it all. But when he gets there, he writes nothing. His mind goes blank. He bites his nail. On the day of the exam, we have to wake him. He sounds asleep and he seems quite relaxed. He knows it all, then he writes the thing. He has recurring nightmare. Is in a crowded railway platform. He see a man there and he thinks it is a close relative. From behind, the man look like his father. Then he see a hand stabbing the back, and he shout and wake up. I asked the boy to describe the dream, and he said, it started 2 months ago. I don't know who is being stabbed, but I see him being stabbed when I wake up. It is a crowded station. The man falls down, and then there is a screaming. I see only the hand that is stabbing him and the back of the man. He gets these dreams almost every night. Sometimes I am screaming, sometimes I am talking. I ask him if he has any other dream. He dreams about the garage and the cars. He is working on the car, an imported car, and brought there. And he has many workers under him, and he owns the motor mechanic shop. And when expensive car belonging to important people come in, they are worked on under his supervision. Other dreams are, and he has had some frightful dreams also, and he dream of falling down the stair in a college. He says, I am not nervous before going to school. I felt confident before, but when I am right, I write the wrong answer, or I leave it blank. I observed that his talk sounded quite normal. He understood questions and answered properly. He spoke well, and he was quite sharp and intelligent. And so I asked, you are failing all the classes. Don't you worry? And he said, no, I don't think about the consequences. The father explained that before he was 3 year old, he was much above average. He learned things faster than the average child. At 3 years, everything stopped. After that, everything stopped. When he was 7, they took him to the child guidance counselor, and found that he was left-handed, and he had been forced to write with his right hand. And when he started to school, at first he used to come from the school and describe what he happened. Then he stopped and saying nothing, and he developed aversion to writing. After asking him to write on the from the right hand, I asked the father to leave the room so that I can talk to the boy alone. And the boy smiles quickly as his father leaves the room. When I asked, why can't you concentrate and do well? And he said, I like cars and garage. I asked, what make you angry? And he said, if someone tries to anger me, I get angry very fast. When someone says you are not correct, that is not the point, then I get angry. When I am angry, I don't talk to that person for a while. I go and sit alone for some time. Sometimes when I get angry, I throw something, but not with people. I don't know. My mother used to force me to do things I didn't want to do. I used to throw things at her. She used to tell me not to watch television. When I'm doing algebra and I can't solve it, I throw the book. I never do one subject at a stretch. I do one subject, then another, then another, then another, then another. It skips 15. I asked, what do you feel like when you are angry? And he said, I have a fight with my mother. Sometimes I do things, then I tell her I have done it, and I am told not to eat meat on Friday. I use my pocket money to buy meat. Then I go and tell them. I don't have to tell them. Then she started shouting at me. Then I asked, what TV movies do you like? And he said, action, comedy, martial art, thriller, not serious stuff. Sometimes I draw. He draw cars and buses. I like car to draw. I am learning driving, and I asked, tell me about your mother and father. And he said, I don't get on with my mother. She says the opposite to me. Sometimes my father argue. He liked to eat fried rice, and my mother says I should have other things, and I don't like other people forcing me to do things. If they do, I do the opposite. I don't care about the consequences. It is the most important to know the remedy, but to know the approach in any cases. What is the main idea? The boy What is the perception of the reality? The boy is very intelligent. He became dull and uninterested and gave up. He was forced to change from his left to right-handed writing. And I don't like to force to do things, he say. And this is the sensitive point. This could indicate any remedy. How did he react? What was the feeling behind it? On the other side, he says, okay, I will not do it. I will not study, pursue a career. I will not write. I don't care about the consequences. Do your worst. It is a defiant. I stand against. You can't force me. This is one aspect of the case. He stand quite strong. No fear. If I fail, it doesn't matter. He will defy every to the point of the destroying his own future, his own life. I will not do it. This is the attitude on the outside. Inside, we have the dream, the stab in the back, falling down and dying, violent and death, murder, killing, stabbing. The potential in this boy is to stab and to be stabbed. He watched martial art on TV. The stick of the violence is there. So we have defiance and violence. Being forced means someone is out to destroy him, his individuality. I am going to stand there defiant, and the dream of being killed. The stabbing indicate the feeling of being attacking and desire to attack back in return. The obsession is that with being attacked, forced, compelled, being made to do things, the compulsion is to be defiant and attack. There is also changeability. He doesn't want to stick to one subject. He liked moving motion, motor car. He was a high performer before the defiant, much more or above average, and we can still see the sign of this when he talks. The remedy he needed should have the theme of attack and defense, violence and need to attack to the extent of killing or being killed, a remedy of extreme. He can appear stupid, dull, the miasm is the syphilitic. Destruction is also there. The theme of attack and defense indicate the metal. The motion and restlessness nature indicate the mobile metal, and the remedy is the mercurius. The most sensitive point about him is a contraindication. He was contraindicated, told to do the things opposite to him. This gave rise to the wild impulse, attack, stabbing in the dream almost every night. In the dream, someone is being stabbed in the back. Deep in his subconscious is the impulse to kill the person who contradict him. This is the main theme of the mercurius. It is not expressed consciously in the child. Rubric were taken are kill, desire to kill the person that contradicts him or her, anger so that he could have stabbed anyone, audacity, heedless, courageous, delusion that he would be murdered, delusion everyone is an enemy, dullness of mind, idiocy, imbecility, writes indistinctly, slowness, loss of will. Indifference, apathy to everything, indifference to all reprimand, kill desire to, escape impulse to run away, loss of willpower. The idea of syphilis is the idea of the killer. It is a killer disease. Mercurius sees people around him as his enemy. Delusion surrounded by the enemy. He has to fight even to destroy himself, even if it means suicide. I refer to Misha Norlad's article on the Saddam Hussein and Mercurius. I have to obstinately fight, even to the bitter end, even if everyone